Women's Champion.
Okay, hold on, guys. I'm making sure everything's working, making sure everything's flowing over on YouTube. So give me just a minute on that. I'm getting to a little bit of everything, so bear with me. We should be live. Yeah, we're live. I see it now hitting up on the thing. We got Icon here. What's up, Icon? Icon's here today. So here we are. The boys are back in town. There you go. If you know the song, there you go. I told you guys things were changing on this channel. I told you last night in video reviews. I'm bringing back some fun shit. You guys have been asking for Icon for a minute. We're going to have Icon more often. And I like having Icon around when we're doing reviews, because I don't like doing solo shit. So I don't know how Icon's schedule is going to be. We may be doing things. I may be doing solo. Who knows? But I'm going to try to have Icon here more often for you guys, because it's a different. You guys get a different. Flavor. There you go. You get a different flavor like soda. There you go. It's like, it's like Shasta, or better yet, that Coke flavor that like Dr. Thunder and shit like that. There you go. All right. So tonight, guys, you're gonna have to bear with me. It's been a minute since I've done like shit like that live like this. So live streams are coming back. I know me and Icon have been talking about some gaming stuff. I know a lot of you have been talking some gaming stuff with me, so we're going to be bringing back some gaming stuff. Stuff like that. I'm glad to be back tonight. Interesting. WrestleMania 41, night one. I watched a beautiful Stand and Deliver. They actually got you really freaking hyped. Stand and Deliver was actually pretty not bad. I will say the kickoff show to Stand and Deliver was not bad. I will tell you guys, like, I was really good with the tag team stuff. They gave it to the right group. They're way over. Chemical X is way over. And Tatum Paxley, I like Tatum Paxley. I like her new role within this group. I've been falling in love with her more within this group with Chauncey. I think Chauncey adds something to this group. I really thought Stand and delivered. I do. Imifele, I knew he was going to win. Like, I knew he was going to win automatic, because I think Trick Williams and Roxanne Perez are just going to be 1-2 for you on the main roster. I think Trick Williams, sky's the limit with him. You could pencil him in anywhere you want. And if they wanted to, they could have him come on in and be part of that Intercontinental division if they wanted to be. So I'm cool with that. And Roxanne Perez, she's got a date for Tiffany Stratton coming soon. I just think you strap the rocket ship to her and let her go. I think it's going to be interesting after WrestleMania. I think with the draft coming up, now with WWE purchasing AAA, which I'm a little nervous about. I was telling Icon I'm a little nervous about that, because there's many reasons why. For one, I'm nervous on the aspect of what else is WWE going to do? What else are they going to buy? I don't want them to just become a giant monopoly in the world of things. We got that announcement after Stand and Deliver. That was right into the pre-show. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be real. I know Icon is giving, we were talking about it off to the side. He was talking 7.2. I'm going to go a little higher than Icon. I kind of, with the swerve we got tonight, and I know a lot of you think I'm just an AEW guy, but I'm actually going to give WWE Night 1, outside of 2 matches, I'm going to be real. I'm going to give it an 8. I'm there. I think I'm really kind of sold. I think Rollins becoming a Paul Heyman guy really kind of sold me. Maybe I'm just in the shock and awe. Maybe I'm seeing stars in my eyes, but I'm there with an 8. I think it's a solid B+ for me tonight from WWE. They threw me the curveball. I was all in my mind it was going to be CM Punk winning. It was going to be CM Punk, or they were going to swerve me with Roman, and they were just going to go with their bread and butter and keep breading that butter, because you can't go wrong with Roman Reigns. You just can't go wrong. But go ahead, Icon.
maybe three matches that I kind of
Okay, rephrase your thought. I apologize. It wasn't picking up his audio. Go ahead and rephrase what you were saying.
um, yeah. Um, so I would probably have to see your point, and I'm not gonna say you're not wrong completely. I see three matches that I kind of felt a little bit sore. Like the first one would be obviously the New Day versus the I was it the War Raiders kind of
Yeah,
not
I kind of agree with you
yeah
there. You could tell the energy
yeah
was out of the room.
especially yeah and you like I don't know if you mentioned like was it Naomi versus like
Jay Cargill.
what's yeah thank you they like felt a little bit there but not like in like explosions but like I think one more would be like I know Rey Mysterio got replaced but like in it's just I don't know it's like kind of neutral but it didn't kind of do well in my taste there myself. So I know I kind of put that down to like a 7.2, but I wouldn't even put it no further down past that. So
I get you. The reason I was talking, okay, so I get where you're coming from with that Carney match. I get it. I get where you're coming from with the comedy match. Um,
yeah,
so with Americano, it's been a thing for a while, and I apologize. I hit my mic move when I moved my when I was trying to move my camera a bit to get it right because it's been a minute. So Americano has been a thing for a while. It's a comedy act. I know what they're playing off of. Can I say this in a good way? I don't want to make this politicked. The reason why Americano exists is because it's a whole play on the Gulf of America and what our current president said. It's a whole play. It's a whole ruse. It's a whole thing, right? So it's a gimmick. It's a joke, right?
I
And
can see that.
so it's a comedy bit. It's like what WWE typically does. They've done this in the past, and it's a way to get Chad Gable over in a way, and it's working for me because I really like Chad Gable more. I kind of laugh every time he comes out as Gulf of America, or I just find it funny. I know some of you don't find it funny because we're in this age. A lot of people look. It's not a politics thing. It's just Chad Gable. Honestly, I think it suits him better being in a lucha mask and screwing people over. I find that I find that old school WWE wise. WWF days. They did that in the WWF days. They would just play on fucking garbage and it worked. Look at Funaki. Look at Tajiri. So not everything, I'm going to be honest with you, not everything needs to be not everything needs to be peaches and herbs when it comes to WWE. You can rub a little comedy into it. I get where Icon's coming from too.
Yeah, can see your
i
point.
I get where also, but Icon watched wrestling different than me when I was a kid. So I grew up with the Attitude Era, right? Where me and Icon have both have gone on this one before on my channel, where Icon started watching Ruthless Aggression Era. So there's differences. So I watched it earlier on than Icon. So I got the comedy bit stuff like the Al Snow and they were just playing into that. That's what they're doing with Chad Gable. It kind of changed with Ruthless Aggression. The only thing I could kind of simulate that to is when I don't know if Icon remembers this, when Goldust and Booker T. If you guys remember those segments where Goldust was trying to emulate everybody and being stupid when doing it, but they were gold and people loved it. Kind of back when John Cena was being Thumbnomic Cena, if you guys remember that. Or maybe that's still a little too earlier before you started watching wrestling, Icon.
I do see like a few clips and videos honestly through YouTube.
Do you remember Booker T and Goldust segments back in the day in the Ruthless Aggression era?
I saw like a couple of YouTube videos of it. Like I know and a little bit under The Rock too with those two. So
Guys, the Hamburglar and the Hurricane and the Rock was legendary. Nothing could top that. Like Booker T and Goldust was the shit. Nothing could top that. I'm just saying. John Cena, Thumbnomics Cena, you can't top that. A lot of the stuff John Cena did back in 05 would probably get him canceled today. Like a lot of it, to be honest. So there you go. I'm gonna be honest. Minus that match being a little bit of a comedy show, I knew what they were doing with that. I agree with Icon on it. Could be considered a down part of the show. Jake Cargill showed you why AEW was to me. It proves everybody right what Jake Cargill did tonight. It shows her match quality ain't that great. Naomi carried that match, to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of Jake Cargill, and Jake Cargill does not look good in the ring. I said it when she was in AEW winning titles, and I said it now. She don't look good. Naomi carried that match. And I think Icon was kind of pointing it out to me. Naomi was laying down for her, and you could see it. And I was like,
yeah.
Naomi was carrying it. And got to give Jake Cargill credit. You know, she's very green, and I got to be honest with it, she's still green. I thought by now she would progress, you know, get better, you know, be further along. She ain't further along. There's reasons why news articles are coming out about Jay Cargill, and there's reasons why. I'm not a hater of Jay Cargill. It's just that I thought she'd be further along by now. I thought she'd be better than what she is. You know what I mean? Naomi carried her. When you see Naomi carrying somebody, that's not good. It is not good. And Icon pointed that out to me when we were watching it. We didn't do a watch along, but when Icon, because I was eating dinner, and when Icon was in Discord, I was trying to get my food fast enough and everything, because I'm trying to be back and doing the normal swing of things. And Icon left Discord, so I'm trying to communicate with Icon, say, "Hey, Icon, don't, I'm here. I'm just making myself ramen noodles, man. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
I'll be there
Understandable.
in a second."
Yeah, I'm usually like an introvert IRL, so you know.
I felt
So my
bad because you were in there, and I was like, okay, I know you're excited for WrestleMania and Stand and Deliver and all this. And I was like, okay, I should have been up earlier. What happened was earlier, I got comfortable in the chair because I haven't been really sleeping. So when Stand and Deliver came on, I was kind of nodding off. So I had to rewind, like during the pre-show to WrestleMania night when I was rewatching part of what I missed when I was sleeping with Stand and Deliver. So, um, oh, anyway,
yeah.
but yeah, I'm gonna tell you guys tonight. Jay Cargill and Naomi was kind of a down part, and I would say the tag team, those two would be. That's why I'm not giving it a perfect score. But I will tell you, Rollins. I will tell you, Rollins. To be honest with you, that swerve, I did not expect that. I did not think WWE was gonna play me like that, and they did. They played me. And
Yeah.
take everything you know. You got to give Triple H. I even said it. Said it when they did the Tiffany Stratton match. Right. I turned around and literally said to Icon, "You got to give them a golf clap with that. You got to give them that." Charlotte Flair put over Tiffany Stratton. You got to
Oh
give it to
yeah.
you. 100% got to give it to Charlotte, and 100% you got to give it to Triple H for that. They had a lot of faith in Tiffany to do that.
Yeah, it does like help out because like it brings in like new wasn't wrestlers coming in from like from wherever they come from, which it's a massive W there.
They needed to do it. Like, for instance, Jey Uso. How much further could you go with Jey Uso? You had to have him win that belt. Yes, Gunther toned himself down to win that, to have Jey Uso win that match. I get it, but you have to have Jey Uso win. He's like your number one of your top merchandise guys. If you didn't give him the belt, here's the problem. If you didn't hand him the belt, right? When were you gonna do it? Were you going to have him losing and then you become a Sami Zayn situation? Where that Sami Zayn situation, what happened with Sami Zayn when he was in his pinnacle? Right after he came out of Juicy Usi, right? Remember when he's doing the whole Juicy, I'm very Usi,
Oh
right?
yeah.
and you had him not capitalize that, his love fell down. The crowd just went, they went totally downhill. So it's now or never when it comes to Jey Uso, and that's the one thing with Triple H I don't like is Triple H takes too long when he builds characters. You got to give a payoff eventually to what you're doing. And literally, Triple H tonight did the right things. I could say that. I knew it. Rollins was going to win, and Paul Heyman was going to join him. I have a feeling they are going to be joining The Rock and Cena as the new NWO. Whoa, interesting. That's an interesting take, Josh. Well, what's up, Josh? Hope you're doing well tonight. It would be crazy if this happens. Look, anything's possible. We're gonna see what this is Triple H. People sleep on this whole Triple H thing. Like I give Triple H shit, right? But when Triple H is on one, he books well. Same with Tony Khan. When Tony Khan's on one, they're both great. When they're off their game, it's when it's bad. When it's bad. Icon gave it a 7.2, which is basically a B minus. I've given it basically a B plus. I think is B minus C, right? Is that what we were going with? C, B, right? Is that the average you're giving it?
I think C guessing, but I might be wrong.
Tonight there was a few spots tonight. I don't know if Icon was laughing, but I was laughing hard. I laughed a few times hard at a few things that they were doing WWE. Tonight WWE had me in the laughter column when it came to Americano, bro, in the Gulf of America. I still can't believe that's what they're calling it from. I died. I was like, this shit's stupid, but it's typical WWE. The New Day's garbage win. You know what? We did say that the New Day stuff has been garbage. I think Icon criticized it really hard. I agree with Icon with that. The New Day did not look good.
Well, I don't know if I did, but like it just kind of to me like it's like a bad time, bad moment overall due to like like probably start off like big E over here, and I don't know, it doesn't like put me in like a wrapping my head around, so it's kind of like a few questionable probably takes over here, so but I can be wrong, so yeah.
Triple threat match was one of the best matches I've seen in a long time. Yeah, I said it to Icon. They played us. I was played. I will admit this. I was played. Triple H, bravo. I'll give it to you. Golf clap all around. I gave him a golf clap when I was in somebody else's watching it alongside. I was telling Icon, I'm giving them a golf clap. Charlotte Flair put over Tiffany Stratton, and I was like, yes, this is how it needs to be. Good on. Finally, Charlotte Flair is playing ball. Here we go. Yes, here we go. This is what we do. We put over young talent. This is what Charlotte Flair should be doing. Now Charlotte Flair should go walk over to Raw now and go be part of that division. I think when the draft is all said and done, I think Charlotte Flair should win the women's title. I think, reward her in a way. Do something like that down the line. I wouldn't do it right now. I think Mommy's going to have that title back tomorrow. I really do believe. Io Sky, I'm sorry to say this, but anybody could disagree with me. I think Io Sky is a transitional champion. I'm sorry. I just have to say this. Io Sky just looks out of place in that storyline. It should be Bianca Belair, and I've said it, and Mommy going at the title. If they're going to go that far.
Yeah, I might have to, disagree, but like
I gotta hear you, Sky. Go ahead.
And like I know like Seacow worked her stuff out a little bit, and I just like I'm not trying to say I felt kind of bad a little bit. It like I felt like Triple H didn't give her like credit, and like after like a few title match. Well, like I think one, especially between like.
Are we talking about Tiffany Stratton? Or are we talking about what I was just talking about, Mommy and all that?
No, it's Io Sky because
Okay. This is a different. This is why I like having you part of the show. This is why,
It
because this is a
is,
different perspective. Okay.
yeah. It's just I kind of felt like a little like I don't know if it's felt bad, but like I just feel like it kind of put you like kind of a bad spot a little bit, but and also like Triple H kind of felt like it kind of like I don't know forced something or I just kind of think that
You feel the
Re-
match is for you feel the match is forced, and it should be a much natural progression.
yeah, it felt a little bit like forced because like I know I saw like a few episodes of like maybe one through Raw that like Bianca and Rhea kind of have like a rivalry, but kind of overshadow Io. Where to me, like I felt like she, like
So you're
yeah,
basically you're
won.
basically saying that you're basically saying Bianca should just be out of the. So you're the reverse of me. Bianca
um
should not even exist, and it should just be Rhea Ripley versus in a legendary match, technically with Io Sky, basically.
um not really. I would probably say like Io Sky versus like Bianca Belair and shit because like
Okay.
history through it between damage control and
Okay.
her
I see this. I see where you're coming
previously,
from.
yeah. And I
I
just felt like Rhea kind of forced herself in a little bit, and like I know between her as Rhea versus Io, I know Rhea kind of struggled against Io's guy a bit, so you don't see her and Io facing as often as well. So
Okay, so
for me,
let me get to Josh's question real quick. I don't want to seem like I'm ignoring your question.
certain.
We'll get back to what you're saying, Icon. I apologize. Real quick. We'll both answer this one. All right, Icon. Here's one. Do you see Cena winning tomorrow with help or clean match? That's a good topic. This is a good one. How do you see it?
Um, I feel like for Cena, I think he would get a little bit of help because of the Rock and maybe Travis Scott, but I don't know. I don't see Travis Scott kind of in there in the naturalist kind of deal. So yeah, got me
Okay,
kind of concerning.
so here's how I see tomorrow with John Cena, right? So I'm gonna be logical. I kind of see. I don't know how they could put Travis Scott there because he almost injured somebody. I could see the
Right.
dynamic that Josh has been talking about. I could see Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. I could really see that too playing a factor because what does Seth Rollins want at the end of the day? He wants the title, right? So he goes and joins up with The Rock, Cena, and then there's favors all around. I could see a new NWO being made. I could see that. I could see the corporation coming back. I could see that coming back, like back in the day, 97 corporation, where The Rock's
Oh
leading the
yeah.
corporation charge. I could see this. I could.
Oh
All three
yeah.
of them with suits and coming out all day long, Paul Heyman being the mouthpiece for everybody. I could see it.
Right. Or the Authority back in like the 2010s with like Triple H, Stephanie McMahon,
Yep.
Seth Rollins, maybe Kane as well.
Um, I see them doing more like I don't know anybody else here. I feel like they're gonna capitalize on what everybody's talking on. And when the John Cena did what he did, it was more of the NWO thing, Bullet Club kind of deal. So I could see them doing kind of 97 Corporation, where the thing with the corporation, it was Rock, Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, and I think it was Shawn Michaels. I think Shawn Michaels was part of it for a minute. And they would all rule ass. And then one was like general manager to where they were calling their own shots on people. So I could see The Rock playing, but this is in tangents of if The Rock has not dealing with the UFL and the movies. Like this is the thing. Like this, and I know I read comments from my wrestling video, and I know Josh, you commented, and then I wanted to talk about that real fast. What I meant was that like I wish it was more. That's all I was wanting. Going into this, I just wanted it more. I wanted John Cena. I was telling Icon this earlier when we were watching and talking between each other. I was like, I just wish the John Cena stuff was more. Like different music, John Cena being a little bit more hardcore. You know, I feel like WWE's kind of holding back until he wins the title. You know what I mean? I think ultimately that's where they're going to go. And, you know, I feel sorry for Cody in a lot of ways, but it has to be done for best for business, in my opinion. I think Cody losing the title wouldn't hurt my feelings. I'm kind of more intrigued what Cena's going to do. I just don't want to see Cena walk away with the title. Oh, here I'm the GOAT. Bye. I'm not going to be here for a while. And then they have to come up with a new title. If they do that, I'm just going to be upset. Like, that's been the rumblings that Triple H has been talking about wanting to make more titles. And I'm like, that's not the answer. I want to see John Cena hold the belt. And I want to see him lose somewhere around, like, after, like, maybe SummerSlam or more. Have him go into, like, Survivor Series and have him lose the belt to somebody. You know, because I know he's not going to be there all year long, but he could be there for, like, 4 or 5 months. I wouldn't be mad. What if Seth Rollins is number one contender, the guy to The Rock and Cena? Just that is a. I could see that. I could. Crazy. Says that during the post show, the New Day winning the tag team titles again for the first time. And damn, that's an interesting stat. Yeah, like I'm gonna tell you guys straight up. If you guys are watching, you guys are coming in. Like I really liked WrestleMania 41 Night 1. I also like Stand and Deliver. I told you guys at the very beginning. I'm a big fan. I knew Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. I saw that one coming. Roxanne is going to have a rocket ship on her back on the main roster. I think she's going to be on SmackDown. I do believe that she's going to be put in good spots. And Oma is the real deal. And Trick Williams, like, he doesn't need the belt again. That would be the third time in 6 months? They don't need the belt like that. I think personally,
Yeah.
Trick Williams needs to go to the main roster at this point. I think him and Carmelo Hayes need to restore their rivalry, and also Braun Breaker. I'd be more happy to see it on the main roster. Trick Williams is too good. You could pencil him in anywhere you want. He's a utility player. You could put him anywhere. He could be your 6-man. He could be your starting lineup. He could be anything. He can sing me the phone book. That's how good he is. Trick, like,
Right.
I wouldn't be mad if they put him on the main roster and they make him heel. I wouldn't be mad either because to me, I like anything Trick Williams does. Another one that I think that's up there too is Wes Lee. I think Wes Lee should be up on the main roster at this point too. I think if they're going to do call-ups after the fact, they said there's a draft coming. Those are the people you put up there. You know what I mean? The Fatal 4-Way, it could have gone any way for me. I figured they were going to keep it on Stephanie Vetter because Stephanie Vetter did the right thing by relinquishing the North American Women's title. I think she did the right thing with that. I know that she was talking about keeping it and being real, but, I'm glad she is allowing other women to do what they need to do with that North American belt. Tag team, I mean, Faxion needs to be on the main roster. Like right now, SmackDown and Raw, and I don't know if Icon agrees with me here, but I feel like SmackDown and Raw needs more tag teams. I feel like they're a little bit on the forgotten side of things. We give AEW shit for it, but WWE looks like they're lackluster on their tag team side.
I might have to agree to like a little bit more of an extent though.
Well, I think Faxion should be on the main roster at this point. I think they're great, personally.
Yeah, like it's I thought like was it? I felt like Raw probably don't have as often, but like SmackDown, like I feel like like they do have like a lot of tag teams there, so I'm not gonna complain about that often on SmackDown. But like I said, Raw do need it a
Oh,
lot more.
oh yeah. Their tag team belts. Did you notice they look like afterthoughts? I saw that with the New Day when they ran with them. I'm like, remember when the Raw titles were great? These are not great. Like they're looking like it's an
Yeah,
afterthought. Do you see Becky
right.
Lynch's reaction? What Seth did? Potential NWO group with, I could see that. I could see Becky Lynch coming back and being not being around all the time, but being like a manager, kind of like Maria Kanellis was for the Bullet Club or the Kingdom. I could see that. I could. I don't need
That
Becky.
might.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. My bad.
All right. Like I could see that for like Seth though. Like I'm not gonna be mad, but it's gonna be like a little bit of a disrupt because of Paul Heyman though.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Oh, and I'm sorry guys. My bad about my mic volume. My bad. Sorry. Let me make sure it's okay and stuff. I see it in the yellow on Prism Live Studio, which is virtually OBS. My bad. Sorry if I was in the red and I'm peaking. Let me know. Uh, I switched mics. This one does peak a lot, so I apologize. We'll get an audio interface eventually, and we'll fix those issues. I apologize. Sorry if it's loud. It blow your ears. Always let me know about my audio. Please do. A lot of you don't. Please do, because if you hear it on video, it sometimes will sound like shit. And I apologize. Um, I do see. I just don't. Becky Lynch does not need to go for titles anymore. Okay, here's my thing. Becky Lynch has done everything. I would rather her be like a Marina Shafir for the Death Riders in that situation where Becky Lynch does not have to be necessarily, but she could play a factor in matches. You know what I mean? She could be like the Shamel of, of the like, when Booker T had her thing. Like Becky Lynch basically said she wanted to be more of a family woman or a mom. So you could bring her in for like short term and then have her be off TV for a while. You don't need that. Like Becky Lynch has done everything. Let her have some time with her family and let her do her thing. But if you want to have her on TV, she don't need to do all the wild things. You got plenty of women there to do, especially rumors and rumors and speculation that Paige is coming back. Rumors and speculation that AJ Lee's coming back. Rumors and speculation that the Bella twins are thinking about making a comeback. So there you go. Like you don't need Charlotte Flair could take time away, right? And I wouldn't be mad if she came in and did like work to Brock Lesnar's schedule, kind of like what the Young Bucks do. I wouldn't be mad over those things. You have plenty of women.
Um, yeah, like I would probably see like I want to see Paige come back a little bit more than like the Bella twins or the other person you recommended.
Well, you also got to remember Britt Baker wants to be in a WWE. Supposedly, like I don't see how Mariah May is going to fit in with WWE because Mariah May is basically Tiffany Stratton, British version, and the
Oh
problem
yeah,
is Mariah May should stay in AEW. I think she's gonna hurt herself there, but I don't think WWE is gonna benefit her. I said that about Jay Cargill. Jay Cargill does not work in this WWE system. You saw tonight, Naomi's carrying her, and it's unfortunate
you're
like
right
that.
about that one. Yeah,
And
like oh, go ahead.
go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Yeah, like I feel like you got a good point because of like Paige kind of been through WWE though, so like you're not wrong there.
Let's see here. Now, what's going on? What's going to happen with both Roman and Punk? They're probably going to join forces at this point. They're going to have to. I mean, or I could see the feud continuing. We got to see. I'm now intrigued. I don't know the future of that. I'm just intrigued. It's WrestleMania season, and we're getting we're 4 months away from night one and night two of SummerSlam. So I'm interested. They got a lot of time of building. Like I can't really answer that. Like I'm in disbelief. Like all the years of watching wrestling, I'm actually in disbelief for the first time in a long while. Like I can't answer that. Like if I made a prediction right now, I think Roman Reigns and Punk will probably join forces somewhere. They're gonna have to. They're gonna both be faces, or we run this back in Paris because I think that's the next one. I think Paris is the next one. I think Payback or something like that, or something like that is going to be in Paris. I have no idea what they're doing with that. So, um, but yeah, getting back to my women's thing, like WWE has a stacked lineup of women's talent. They do not need. Mariah May. And I don't know why people are pushing that. Mariah May needs to be in WWE. I think it'll not do her well. Backlash. Okay, there we go. Thank you. I thought it was Payback. I thought they still do that. Um, but yeah, I don't think Mariah May would work out in WWE. There's too much women. I think they have too much women's talent personally. You're throwing a bone to Selena Vega like you did on SmackDown. You're finally doing something with Selena Vega. I think Selena Vega will be your next US champion. I think Chelsea Green will lose that belt eventually, and I think that's a good move to do. I think what you need to do with that mid-card title, personally, you need to really kind of push that forward and not have women hold it that long. That should be your building title to build for who's going to be next for the women's belt. Orton is on the posters, so what does that mean? I really do, and I'm gonna go out on a limb, and this is just me tomorrow. I think you see Malachi. I think you see Aleister Black tomorrow. I do. I think he surprises everybody, comes out, and he puts Mr. Randy Orton to sleep. I think you start a feud. That's just me looking into things and wishful thinking. I think Malachi Black coming in would be the best thing you can do. Rusev, I've been reading Rusev, and I'm like, I don't think Rusev fits that. I think Rusev you bring back like maybe on a Raw after the fact with CJ Perry. Maybe you have him beat somebody up. Maybe you have him come back and beat up Jey Uso. Who knows? You know what I mean? Or maybe he aligns with Gunther. Who knows? I think Rusev needs to be in a different situation personally. Not on a. I don't want him on a WrestleMania. I would rather see him the night after, and build something up for him. Aleister Black, different story. Aleister Black, you could pencil in, have him come in. You could have the smoke come in. You could make it all mysterious, and he comes out. I would mark out for that. And have him come out his old original music from CFO Money. Perfect. Be too sweet. Or the wild thing I've been throwing around, wouldn't it be Nick Aldis coming out of being general manager, and he retires as he just says, I'm done being a general manager and I'm a wrestler now. Because Nick Aldis was the shit in NWA. He was the longest reigning NWA champion for a while there, next to Cody. So I wouldn't be mad if Nick Aldis decides to drop his general manager's job for a wrestling gig. I wouldn't be mad. Like, he's actually pretty good at wrestling. I wouldn't be mad. But I really think it's going to be Aleister Black. I do. I'm really there. And tonight, like, everybody's like, oh, why Rey Mysterio didn't fight the match? It's kind of stupid what they're doing to Chad Gable. I find it funny. Chad Gable's getting victories. Guys, you got to understand how comedy works. Like, this is old school WWE, man. Triple H did say he's going to do old school WWE shit mixed in with new school shit. You got to give Triple H an opportunity, man. And no, I'm not a nut hugger or a cast kisser of Triple H. No, I've called Triple H out the last 4 weeks. He's finally doing something. I think he's waking up finally. He needs to. He's got too many pay-per-views. He's doing a pay-per-view every other month. Come on now. He's got to start rapid firing storylines. I see Braun Breaker tomorrow losing belt to Penta. I do. I think it's going to be Braun Breaker and Jey Uso, and I think Braun Breaker will be your next World Heavyweight Champion. I already see this. They're doing the same thing they did with the Intercontinental belt, which I'm fine with that. But let Jey Uso have at least a 3-month run. I'll be disappointed if it's 6 weeks and that's that. I'm with Icon with that. Anyway, if you guys didn't see today, AAA and WWE, they acquired AAA. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous about WWE right now. I'm a little nervous. Hopefully this is not a prelude to WWE becoming a monopoly. But AAA becoming part of WWE. I don't mind it unless it doesn't turn into something else long term. So
Yeah, I might have to agree with you because I'm more like, having more, competition under like the stuff over like Monopoly and shit. Like what was it? Like some companies do, but like I can see your point though overall, so I have to agree.
Well, I don't want to see, and this is what I don't want to see. I don't want to see AEW and WWE getting into these bidding wars of buying companies left and right. Then what it becomes is there's not enough indie scene for people to grow their talent. And then it's going to become
Right.
territories like back in the day.
You're right about that. I can see that.
And my biggest fear with Triple H is, and I've always said this to all of you, and a lot of people don't want to look what's going on with gaming right now. And I don't mean to bring up the gaming. The more you stifle competition, the more you buy out stuff, the more there's not going to be competition. It's like we all said this about Microsoft, and I'm glad Microsoft's not buying other companies right now. And even me saying that, I'm kind of fearful. Even the words that come out of my mouth
Yeah.
is stifling competition. You got to have competition to make industry grow. If you have only one player in the field, they could do fuck all. Look at what Nintendo's doing. So that's my biggest fear with WWE is I don't want to see them just going and buying every little small Tom and Jerry out there and then becoming, here's WWE AAA edition. Here is Europe PWO or whatever, blah blah blah, or PWCO or whatever it was called back in the day. I think they're still around. So there you go. I just don't want to see that kind of shit. I just don't. And I know you guys don't want to come here and hear me talk about like WWE buying out other companies, but it is concerning when you see them making deals and handshaking and hearing how just how easy it is. How easy it is for a company just to go and buy a company. You know what I mean? And you hear the owners of that other company, you're just like, wow, WWE and them have been talking for a long while. And I saw it coming. I saw AAA signing with WWE. They were not doing too well. Conan was talking about that for a while. Creative director of if you guys don't know who Conan is very well known. WCW days, Lucha Underground days. He's very well known. He's actually the promoter and writer and booker of the show. So there you go. Let's get into some of the other meat and potatoes of this show. We'll get into it. WWE kind of giving you Jelly Roll tonight. Jelly Roll was everywhere tonight. Jelly Roll everywhere. That's what it was tonight. They kept featuring Jelly Roll in the audience, over here, over there, doing the national anthem. It's kind of cool to see Jelly Roll's getting a lot of love from everywhere. I'm excited about that. I like Jelly Roll. I like Jelly Roll sightings. I'd rather see Jelly Roll than Travis Scott, to be honest with you. Not trying to be mean.
Uh, Here's an idea, and I'm not going to plan to bring this quote unquote person back, but we I would be surprised if Matt Cardona would appear in like WrestleMania as a different character of a wrestler.
Wouldn't be surprised if he came back as I wouldn't be surprised at WWE if they did sign him. I wouldn't be surprised if he turns around and goes, Zack Ryder's dead. It's Matt Cardona now. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
mad.
Well, yeah, but like you gotta understand, like it's kind of like I know the Zack Ryder character kind of struggled, and like I don't want to force it on the dude either. So it's just what is it? I want to see like a different appear, like for a good example of you recommending like the Alistar dude, which is fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like something new out of the original idea.
Well, the reason I'm going with that is because there's articles and stuff out there. That's why. I mean, what the mainstream media is putting out there. And a lot of people are excited
Understandable,
about those two, Rusev and because Rusev hasn't wrestled in a minute. Aleister Black, last time he wrestled was in AEW 4
right?
months ago. And he's Selena Vega's husband. And
Yeah,
and now with CJ Perry and Miro, or formerly Lana, they're now reconnecting. So I mean, anything can go tomorrow. I want to see what they're gonna do. I think they're gonna. I don't know if they're gonna go the fast option. The fast option would be Nick Aldis. I think that's what I ultimately think they're gonna go with, just as a get back at you, and then you have Randy Orton. But then I don't want to see a hokey pokey match. You know what I mean? I just really don't want to see a hokey pokey. I want to see a good match with Randy Orton. You're having Randy Orton on night
Yeah.
two. Night two is supposed to be your bigger night, right? So I expect
Oh,
some shock
right.
and awe. There's got to be some shock and awe. Now, Matt
Yeah.
Cardona would be a good one. I'd be okay with Mac. I would rather see Matt Cardona come in as and I personally will say this, I'd rather see Matt Cardona come in for a title shot than anything like an open challenge. He comes in. I'd like to see that, but Randy Orton's a good one. I'd like to see both of them run it back. They used to have some good matches back in the day. Wouldn't mind. And Matt Cardona,
Yeah.
he needs a big contract. Like, I'm surprised that guy has not got it. Like, him and Heath Slater are the one, two that I always went, wow, why are these guys not being picked up? Like, when Heath Slater worked in TNA for a while there, I was like, bro, as Heath, I was like, this is
Hold
pretty
on.
fucking phenomenal.
Wait. Did like WWE put Heath Slater as a jobber though? Like that kind
Yes,
of
they did.
concerned me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they did.
that concerned me a lot though. Like, see it. Like, I know he worked with like Rhino for like the tag team though, right?
So what they did was with when it was Heath Slater, right? When they fired him under I believe it was the COVID-19 shit, when they fired a lot of people, he went over to TNA or Impact Wrestling, and he did like phenomenal things uh with Rhino over there, and they were tag team champions multiple times. And then I think Heath was also a digital media champion for a minute there. They kind of booked him a lot better than they did over in WWE. He was still kind of hokey pokey, but it was like more convincing. And he looked like he got bigger, like bulkier, better, bigger. So did Matt Cardona too.
Right.
So
Yeah.
another thing tonight that I was very in shock. They told you stories tonight within matches. For instance, Charlotte Flair, right? They played off the ACL injury, the MCL. They played off of it. Do you notice that? Like, I wanted to point that out to Icon in the match. I was gonna point out they were playing a storyline with that knee. The minute she went after the knee, that's all they kept playing on. It's hook, line, and sinker. So I do give WWE credit tonight, like for real, credit on storytelling and storylines. What was the other thing that I was going to point out? I like the fact that with AAA, when they had the Americano, they had Vankingo. I got to give them this too, where they kind of spread it a little bit of AAA mixed in. So I could see them doing main roster stuff with AAA. Now, here's my question, and I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I don't know if Icon feels this way. Do you feel like they're going to do what they did with WCW? Or maybe I'm just not seeing it with AAA. I think they're going to bring the wrestlers to the main roster. I do believe this. And they're just going to end AAA as we know it. I don't think they're going to keep it as a promotion within WWE. I don't think they're going to.
Um, I think I have to agree with you on this one. Like, I know it feels kind of weird, and like I do like the indie stuff, kind of as the indies, making things a little bit more easier to grow, like basically more talent and shit. But like, it's kind of, I feel like it's kind of like a WCW repeat a little bit.
Well, AAA is a big one. So in the Lucha Libre stuff, it's pretty big, them buying AAA. My like I said, I'm very skeptical right now with WWE, and I know people don't want to hear this from me, and I'm probably gonna hear this from somebody. I'm just an AEW fanboy, or I'm just a shill. Okay, but any person that sees company by X company, and you know how Triple H has been, and I read another article on the fact that Triple H is not done with this, so I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't rebrand AAA wrestling as NXT Mexico. Watch them do it. Watch Triple H do this. Trust me. Triple H did say he wanted to have different territories, new versions of territories. Like he's already talking about revitalizing NXT Europe, which was formerly known as NXT UK. So, would not be surprised if we start seeing WWE pulling out what they said they were going to do, the multiverse. So I'm nervous in the aspect because it stifles wrestling when you have bigger companies do what they do. WWE did this back in the day with Vince McMahon, where they would buy said territories. We watched the whole Vince McMahon thing here on this channel. We know we very documented. You know, I think Icon was here for the watch along, and we sat back and quite literally we dissected and what was WWE well known back in the day for? Buying territories. And that's my biggest fear with a lot of what WWE is doing. Now, is AEW going to answer? That's going to be the question because whatever WWE does, AEW copies it. Right? And I want to say something too. Like, I'm on the camp that Mariah May is not going to work in WWE. And I want to say that too. Like, you got a lot of you guys, like, I think this is a ploy for her to get more money. I think anything that's been said by Dave Meltzer and all these fucking people are wrong. I think she's doing this as a money play. I think she's going to be paid big time by AEW. I think she's going to be a big time player in AEW. I think this is just the money play. She wants money. I just don't see her working in WWE. It's like Jake Cargill. Jake Cargill's not worked in WWE. I'm sorry. I disagree with everybody on that one. Jake Cargill did not look good. That was like, you want to hear my match of the night that sucked? Naomi carried that match and I felt bad. Naomi was your 5-star MVP. I'm sorry to tell you. It was like watching what's his name? Icon will remember this from back in the day. Jarrett Weaver's brother. Remember him? Remember how terrible he was when he went into the mound? You were afraid. If he was on your team, he would throw a ball up the middle and it would hit a home run. That's basically what Jake Cargill is. She's a choke artist.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say that. She's just a choke artist. And Jade, if you watch this, I don't give a damn enough, bro. Like, I don't care. You can get mad at me all you want. Call me whatever you like. You're just garbage to me. I respect you for what you're doing, but you haven't progressed. You digressed. It's just I'm sorry to say that. I would have rather, honestly, Jade, I would rather had you been on NXT and then move up the women's triple threat match as a main roster thing. Instead, just saying. Or the Fatal 4-Way. It would have been more entertaining. Or the ladder match that I watched today on Stand and Deliver. Keep that a buck. Tonight, Seth Rollins becoming a Heyman guy. I'm actually very in disbelief tonight. I'm still in shock. I know some of you are saying you're not in shock, but I am in shock. As a person, I'm in shock. I didn't expect any of it. I was fooled. Seth Rollins, you know, I thought he was going to be done with WWE for a minute. There was articles coming out that he was going to be done after WrestleMania. Hey man, Triple H has got a lot of faith in his boy. Seth Rollins has always been a Triple H guy. So, there you go. Let's see. Icon, final thoughts. You have final thoughts? Do you have any takeaways tonight outside of those few matches?
Well, I don't know. Like, shit. Like, I don't really know. Like, I just want hope that like tomorrow matches would be a little bit more fucking, I hope phenomenal because like I would probably see like AJ Styles would probably kick Logan's Paul ass a little bit, but sorry to swear, but that and I just want to see a lot of good, you know matches and hope it's a little bit less injuries too compared to like the first night in WrestleMania as well a little bit. So
Gotcha. I feel you. Uh,
Yeah.
a match tonight that got cut off. So a match that got cut off tonight. Let's keep it a buck here. That there was a tag team belt match for the women's tag team belts that got cut off. They wrote Bailey off TV for some weird reason. I didn't get that. Like, if you watch the pre-show, they wrote Bailey off right off the rip. And I'm like, what? I mean, I understand Triple H is
Yeah.
trying to keep time cues and keeping. I get tonight the show. People were like, I was reading on Twitter, why is this show not going on longer for night one? Why is it going off as it's getting dark outside? And I'm like, you got to understand, we're on the West Coast side of things, right? And in Nevada, we're going off of West Coast time, Pacific Standard, right? West Coast or East Coast, they're going to bed about like if you, because we're doing this review, if you go by when it went off at 7:30, 8 o'clock. That's 11 Eastern time. Like, you got to realize there's a shut off time. You don't want an AEW pay per view situation where people are just getting burnt out and it's just dragging on. You don't want that. So I get why Triple H did what he did. He pulled the plug early. And he did say his pay-per-views were going to be short. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. I got like a little bit of a take, and I don't
Go
know
ahead.
if people would like or dislike what I'm going, bring in a little bit of a good surprise in like the tag team divas kind of deal. How about ODB on like TNA helping out with the you know what's her name against like you know Liv and Raquel for like the tag team.
ODB, and who's the other one you're going with?
Um, no, it's like ODB with like the person that would replace Bailey against those two tag team champs.
Oh, so you're wanting to you wanted to open up that partnership door and then have ODB hasn't wrestled in a minute
Yeah,
be a replacement. Okay. I
so
I
yeah,
like ODB. Like, to be honest with you, ODB, I felt she never got an opportunity in WWE because she was always the drunken,
right,
kind of like how I felt about the Briscoe brothers. They didn't get
right,
a fair chance because they were always viewed as country folk, not so
yeah,
much as your typical wrestler. Yeah, I agree with that. I could see why. Another one that I saw over the weekend that I was just in disbelief. He's coming out of retirement. I thought he was canceled. Was Austin Aries. I was like, holy shit. And Austin Aries has got like the Abe Lincoln beard going on. Like, I was like, holy shit, no way. Um,
why did it get canceled?
the reason he got canceled is because back in the day when Impact Wrestling, when they were kind of getting hot as Impact Wrestling under Billy Corgan, this is before Anthem had their dispute with Billy Corgan. They were in the one of the New York arenas or something like that, small arenas, theaters, something like that. And you guys go back and watch the footage. He didn't sell. So he didn't sell the finish. So John Morrison, or Johnny Impact, because he has these stupid names. If you guys know who John Morrison is, he's part of Lucha Underground. He's well known. He's now part of Ring of Honor right now with his wife, Taya Valkyrie. I think they're booking them the wrong way. Tony Khan, you need to rebook them better. And Diana
Yeah,
Peraza. But let's be real. Let's keep it a buck. So back in the day, what happened was, this was like 5-6 years ago. Austin Aries wasn't selling, and he hit the Starjic Pain, and 1, 2, 3 won the Impact title, and Austin Aries got up immediately. Didn't even sell it, walked up, started screaming at the mic, and flipped everybody off, and then flipped off management. That's how I got canceled. He wouldn't play ball. It wasn't kayfabe what he was doing. It was real. He didn't like management. He didn't like what was going on. He shit all over Impact management. It was a whole thing. So he was blackballed from the wrestling industry for a while. Now he's coming back. I think I saw him on a GCW pay-per-view recently. over the weekend. The whole WrestleCade stuff, the circuits and everything. Guys, I know I didn't cover all the wrestling stuff this week. Last year I covered CZW, Breach Bake, and Joey Janela, and then I covered a lot of the New Japan stuff. I apologize. I want to just say this to you guys. I'm going to be real in this review. If you guys didn't watch my Go Home Show review, I've kind of been hitting financial hard times, and I live with somebody, and the person I live with, well, they're defaulting and they want to sell the house or figure it out. So I've been talking to lots of people and trying to find work and stuff, and that's not been going well because of my Social Security. So that's what's been going on with me, and I have to address it here because, once again, so you guys know that's why I haven't been making videos or streaming. It's just been I've been in my mind, and I've been in meetings, and I've been talking to realtors, and it's just been I've been all over the place. So I just have to be honest with you guys. That's where I've been. It's not like the lack I have not wanted to do wrestling reviews and stuff like that. It's just more I've been busy with other things. And no, I've not been sick. And I know some of you have reached out to me in concern and on Twitter and things like that. And I appreciate that. But it's not like that. I just keep my personal life to the vest. And I try to keep things away from what I do. But a lot of it goes hand in hand when people are concerned. So I just want to be real. And that's me being real with you guys. Now, going forward on this channel, for sure, Icon's going to be here more. I said opening this, Icon's going to be here when he wants to be here and wants to do a wrestling review. We're going to be back to watching wrestling and stuff. Tomorrow, we're going to be back here tomorrow. We're going to be reviewing some more. It's going to be fun tomorrow. We're going to be watching and see if John Cena becomes the actual ultimate GOAT of wrestling. We're going to see. We're gonna all be in excitement tomorrow. Randy Orton and everything. I'm more excited for night 2 than I am night 1. So, but I didn't see WWE doing the swerve, So there you go. Game
Yeah.
streaming. I'm gonna be back. Primarily on Twitch. All my friends are over on Twitch. I don't really want to multi-stream. Like, to be honest with you, I'll multi-stream here and there, but I'm gonna keep it to Twitch. I think that's where I'm gonna be mostly. I don't want to stream to so many platforms because, to be honest with you, I have a lot of mods that have been jumping in and out of everywhere trying to keep up with my chats, and it's like I don't want that to be the thing. We may multi-stream here and there just to keep, the live streams consistent, but expect like news videos, wrestling stuff, shorts, things like that here on YouTube. I'm only focusing on 3 platforms anyway. I'm focusing on Kick, Twitch, Kick as my backup, Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok, and a few social media platforms. I'm not gonna be busting my ass on 9 different platforms. Now, Beam maybe because they have monetization and thing that's going on over there, and I applied for it, so we'll see. I may add them to the rotation if anything goes there, but don't expect me on Trovo. Don't expect me on DLive or any of these other platforms. Expect me primarily on Twitch or YouTube, doing wrestling stuff in the sort, So that's what I'm doing. That's where the brand's going. Now, I'm not going to make you guys any guarantees if it's going to be consistent, because if I do move, I got to have time to move, and I'm going to try to do wrestling videos, so I may have to use my phone when I am moving here and there. It depends on what somebody's doing in this house, and I'll keep you guys updated on that. But I will have donation links up on the board if you want to help your boy out. It goes towards bills and stuff and the like. But yeah, I'm relying on my community. So I just wanted to give you guys an update on that because a lot of you do have concerns and you guys have messaged me, and I thought I would respond to that. And I thank you for that. And also, I know I hear from you guys sometimes. You guys think I'm just, sometimes a little savage. And we're going to change that a little bit too. I feel you. I've kind of like the joy of doing content and stuff has been a little lackluster for me. And I could be a better Rev Sauce. I know that. I hear you guys. I feel you, So. Oh, they're having the WWE's doing the Slammies in 12 hours. There you go. WWE's doing the Slammies. I thought the Slammies were dead. I thought they weren't ever doing those again. I just saw on the WWE channel in 12 hours they're doing the Slammy Awards. I have no idea what that's all about, but hey.
I did not know that till now. Like, see,
I didn't know that was a thing. I thought they killed that off last year. I thought they
I
were
thought
done with that.
I thought it was like kind of dead in like the late of 2000s or early 2010s and shit.
So here's the 7-1 the 411. So tomorrow wrestling tonight. We're gonna be live streaming on Twitch. We're gonna be gaming after this. We're gonna be gaming, hanging out, talking more wrestling over on Twitch. So if you guys want to come hang out, I don't know if Icon's gonna be sticking around. We're gonna be gaming. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna shoot the shit and do the usual we do around here. And then tomorrow we got more wrestling. And also we got the hockey playoffs coming up. We got the NBA playoffs just started. I think hockey just started today. My goal is we're gonna do more sports stuff for sure. The MLB season, if I'm around and I have the bandwidth, I'll be playing some games up in here. So we can watch some of the ball games as we're streaming and having some fun. That's the goal. I'm trying to get the Discord that I co-run with Uwu firing again and having some blast, having some fun. Icon talked about baseball stuff. Maybe I'll start streaming some baseball stuff up in here. We watch some of the games like we used to. We got the college football coming up. We got a lot of stuff coming up, so stay tuned on that one. I'm excited to be back. Like I told you guys, 8 days gave me a lot of time to reflect, and it was a nice little break. But on top of it, I had to take care of family shit. So there you go. Um,
All right. Dude, I might, I know I'm going fully 100% miss out on football because of the whole what is it? CTE issue that like the NFL had.
you're not gonna watch the upcoming NFL season?
Not really anymore. Like it's just
He's
because
he's just mad because his team sucks every year, and he can't
not
stomach it anymore.
no. It's just like the health issue personally through like the NFL players. Like it's like and you and I could back up with like maybe like a few people through it, but like it's
I
just
feel you.
personally
I feel you. I feel you.
yeah, it's like a little bit of a bigger issue, and I just don't want to I just couldn't handle
Support
it
is a
anymore.
support a company. I get you.
Yeah,
Well, around here, you guys know me. I'm more of a college football fan anyway, so I enjoy Saturdays. So like you guys, once the college football season, once we get past the spring training and all that shit, you guys know me. I'm a big USC UCLA fan, so you'll see me watch a lot of college ball. The goal is to get back and stream long hours. That's the goal. I know you guys have been missing that. That's the goal. We have the Xbox back. That's for sure. We've reloaded the PC. Everything looks like we're getting back to normal. So that's the goal. That's the intent. That's what we're doing. And you're gonna see more of Icon. If there's wrestling stuff and Icon's watching and I'm watching and Icon feels like it, hey, feel free to join me. And like I said, if not, it'll just be me. It'll be recorded for you guys. If it's not the day of the show, it'll be the morning after in the morning. So, because I game stream and I got a jock game streaming, live family, all that shit. So there you go. No other news out there outside of Big E still confirming that he's not back full 100%. He said some of his vertebrae have healed. But that's the only news. And then Chris Bay, if you guys don't know about Chris Bay's situation, he showed up on Thursday, which God bless him, to be honest with you, to be real, like the injury that he had, he almost went paralyzed. And he's lucky to be walking. So hopefully,
yeah,
hopefully he gets fully healed. And I don't see him coming back for the next few years. I think right now he could be a manager somewhere or be a commentary guy for a while. I
yeah. That might
so
be a lot more safer that way. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
know he wants to be back in the ring, and I know it's killing him, but I would rather see him as a commentary guy for a while. See, he had a catastrophic injury like Edge's injury, where he's had spinal fusion, So he needs to take some time away from the ring for a while. Same with Big E. I don't want to see Big E in a ring. You know, like if Big E's like 45 years old and he gets the clearance, that's a whole different story, you know? I just don't want to see him in a ring getting hurt. You know, you don't want to you know what I mean? That's my whole thing. But anyway, I'm gonna leave you off here. Make sure to be kind to one another. Make sure to always be respectful of everybody that makes wrestling content. Just because I have a mouth and opinion, and I want to make this very clear. Coming back to this, I'm staying in my lane. That's as far as I'm concerned. I'm staying in my lane. We watch all wrestling shows up in here. Some of us more than others do. I watch them all because I like wrestling in general, and I'm bored all the time, so it gives me something to do. But at the end of the day, support one another, be kind to one another, and let's stop the fanboy shit over what wrestling company's better. Just like wrestling, all of them offer
Um,
different things.
you know what I'm a big fan of?
What is that?
Every wrestling company have their unique, different play styles, and I'm left with that.
You know what? You ain't wrong with that one. You ain't wrong with that. Orton, okay, poster. So well, Randy Orton's gonna be there. Like, if I think I answered that earlier. I'm repeating myself on that one. Randy Orton's gonna be there tomorrow, so we're gonna be probably surprised. I'm really excited for tomorrow. We got 24. We actually got 12 hours, 13 hours until tomorrow, so we'll see what's happening. Also, I forgot to mention Jeff Cobb. If you guys don't know who Jeff Cobb is, he said then, now, and forever, and he was talking about. I don't know if he's moving to WWE, but he had a New Japan logo. He's been a big New Japan guy for a long while, so I don't know if he's going to WWE. That's been the rumor and speculation. Um, Del Rio has been trending. I don't know. Alberto Del Rio is currently the AAA Megas champion and will be the top belt of AAA going forward. Oh God.
I
Does
thought
that
that's kind
is
of concerning me, dude. Like, she,
I'm just
like,
looking at what's trending around wrestling. So
right.
uh
And sorry if I kind of interrupted, but
oh,
like,
you're good.
it's kind of like a out kind of way because of what he did back in the past.
Oh, he's done a lot of shitty shit. I just wanted to see why he was trending #1 in the world on my timeline, and I didn't even know he was AAA Megas champion. Wow. And let me tell you
Mm,
guys
sure.
something. Let me tell you guys this one. WWE, he's on the blacklist on WWE. So I don't know how they're gonna make that work. They're probably gonna strip him of the title. I'm assuming that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna probably strip him, or they're gonna have some NXT guy beat him and just get the belt off of him immediately.
Yeah, like
Most likely.
the face of me being in disbelief, like, bro.
I did not know he was. I did not know he was champion. What's the other one? Charlotte Flair is trending. Why is Charlotte Flair trending? Let's see.
I hope something positive going to her way though. Like, yeah.
And I want to make this clear about Charlotte Flair real quick before we get out of here. I want to make it very clear. I wasn't. I love Charlotte Flair. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Charlotte Flair fan, but Charlotte Flair has had her time in the sun. Like, let her lose for a while. Let her put over talent for a while. She's 15-time champion. She does not need to win everything all the time. Let younger talent win every
Um,
once in a while.
I thought she's like 14 time.
15. They
Wait,
announced that
really?
tonight. Yeah, she's 15. 15-time women's champion. Well,
Okay.
they're including the Divas championships behind that too though. And NXT championships.
Uh, all right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't count those, so my bad.
Yeah, so that's why you got the 15. It's kind of like Okay, so real talk, and I know I'm going to bury Ric Flair for a second. Ric Flair is not really 17-time champion. I think that's not what it is, 17. He's not really 17-time. Fun fact. NWA
Um,
is not considered a thing in WWE, but they put those as titles. I know I'm probably just going to make people salty here, but it's the truth. Your real GOAT is John
um,
Cena.
no, you kind of caught me out of left field, dude. I thought it's like 16 for a quick millisecond.
Okay, 16. Sorry. If it's seven, I don't know what John is it 16 or is it 17? I get confused half of the time.
Um, I feel like it's 16, dude.
Okay, so if you go there, really Ric Flair, if you go by the WCW titles and the WWF titles that he won, right? He's only won 9 titles or 10. They're counting 7 of those to be NWA. And by the way, NWA, yes, NWA and WCW did work with each other. Yes, back in the day they
Yeah.
did for a period. But they
So,
severed ties, so it doesn't count. When they sever ties, those records go with that company. You got to go there with that. So Ric Flair is not really the
right.
GOAT. He's number 2, really.
Well, yeah, I feel like what's it? I know WWE like bought WCW, right? Or am I hallucinating?
No, WWE did buy WCW back in the day when they were WWF, yes. But the NWA was
Alright.
their own thing back then, like
Right,
that.
right.
So the records that
So,
everybody talks about with Ric Flair, the main ones that everybody talk about, if you go there and you take those out, those NWA belts that he won for so long, you take those off the table, he's really honestly a 10-time champion. So then that would bring him down to actually it would bring him down way in the list. So he'd be like a 12-time champion. So he'd be like number 4. It would be John Cena, then you would go Randy Orton, and then I would have to go look up the stats on this, but those would be your 1, 2. So technically, it's pretty much John Cena and Randy Orton chasing for the most belts at this point. So those are your 2 GOATs if you want to go there of WWE. See, people say Ric Flair's the GOAT, but then if you WWE's made it so confusing. If they just came out and said, well, Ric Flair, you know, what they're doing is because they bought WCW, they're going with the AWA, NWA shit. They're adding that into that. And it's like, no, NWA is their own thing. They separated a long time ago. It wouldn't count. But who am I? Some apologist that knows wrestling more than I is going to turn around and say, how dare you talk about Ric Flair like that? How dare you? I'm not saying Ric Flair's not one of the greatest to ever live. I'm not saying that. I'm not telling you that. Ric Flair is. I'm just saying the titles. I have to be realistic here. If we're going by just pure WWE, that would be like saying Tom Brady going over to, or no, let me before somebody gets salty about that one. It would be like me going over, Jamarcus Russell, Russell Wilson. Let's just put it that way. Russell Wilson going into the UFL and winning a trophy, right? Super Bowl of their own, right? And then getting a ring, right? For the UFL. Then he comes over to the NFL, right? Comes back to the NFL and wins another trophy, right? This is hypothetical. This is me just hypothetical situation, fantasy booking. Do we count the UFL title that he won? No. That's a whole different league. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that Ric Flair's not a GOAT. A lot of people will call Ric Flair the GOAT. Even though I'm going to go there, his daughter's actually the GOAT over him, but I'll leave it there. But different times though, different eras. That's what people need to realize. I know some people are going to tell me, Rev, you're fucking crazy. And I'll be like, yeah, you're right.
yeah, but like, that's why I want to ask before. I don't want to see sit, so,
I've always said this stuff about Ric Flair because people try to add up all of his title wins, right? Like that. But if you're going by WWE, right? You know what I mean? If you're going by WWE sense, then he's really like a 12-time champion. Real talk.
So you're
And
not
he's a
wrong.
and he's a Grand Slam champion too, because I think he's had the Intercontinental belt for a while. I think he's had the US belt for a period. And he's also been tag team champion. So if you want to go there, he outdoes John Cena on the list of things. If you want to really go there, because I don't think John Cena's been a tag team champion or an Intercontinental champion. I don't think he's ever been.
Wait, you said John Cena ain't like a tag team champ?
Was he a tag team champion?
I thought he was on Raw with like Batista for like 1 week. I'm like I know I watched it, but that's kind of like I always say questionable, but I'm not saying wrong because I don't want to make it worse. So, but I
Hold
feel like
on.
he,
We're gonna
I
go look
feel
this
like
up. I gotta look this up
yeah.
now. Okay. So let's see here. All right, so John Cena, let's go there. We're gonna do this today because I may be proven wrong. So he was a
Um,
doctor of thumbnomics. Let's see here.
eh, Look at August 4th of 2008 when Dave Batista and John Cena versus Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase, according through WWE.
Okay, so let's take a look. Title history. Because I'm quite fascinated because I could be wrong. So John Cena, he has 16. So tomorrow he's going for 17. He has been a
Right.
United States champion. He's been the longest United States champion. That's what they're saying, quoting. Okay, so let's look at all the WWE title runs of John Cena. Okay, so John Cena. Oh wow, so he's okay. So all the 16 run. Okay, so I'm reading. So, wow, this man has hold the title. Let's John Cena versus numerous WWE superstars Elimination Chamber, 3 minutes and 33 seconds. Wow, that's been his shortest reign ever. Wow.
Um, is it okay for me to DM you through like a video?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Alright, I might recommend muting the whole desktop audio, please, for
I got you.
safety reasons.
Got you. Let me go to actually speaking of it. Let's
There
go
you
to
go in Discord.
got you. Let's see here. Oh, here we go.
But yeah, that and then they probably given up the titles for like I think next week though.
Okay, so he definitely did win the tag team belts. Okay, I was wrong. Okay. I forgot all about this back in 2008. I forgot that John Cena and Batista didn't like each other for a while there, and then
Yeah,
they had real life beef. I forgot about that.
I think so,
Okay,
yeah. Like
I've been proven
yeah.
wrong. Okay, okay. I didn't think he was tag team champion. I thought he was always I always thought he was the United States and okay, so I was wrong. All right.
You're not wrong because he's mostly like
I
what
didn't
is
think
it?
he won with Batista like that. Okay, I feel you. Okay.
Yeah. So, but you're not wrong because he's mostly more of a singles wrestler. So you got like a whole, single wrestler kind of ordeal. So I'm not gonna take that away.
But tomorrow, I do have John Cena winning tomorrow. I do have something happening to Cody Rhodes. I do. I know some of you don't want to hear that from me, but I do think there's going to be some type of fuckery happening. I do believe people are going to leave not happy. I do. I think The Rock, I do think something's going to happen. I think there's going to be an alliance starting up, and I think Cena's going to be the forefront of it. I do. because Cena said he wants to go the rest of this year wrestling, right? He wants to go all the way up and do the things, right? So I don't see like him just taking the belt and going home. I don't see that. I don't see him retiring it. But then I can also see that because Triple H is talking about bringing in a new world championship to the table. So again, who knows? Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. I love you guys as always. Like I said, tomorrow we'll be back with more of WrestleMania, and we'll be here on Monday because Monday is a fun day, and Monday is the beginning of the week, and we're gonna see who debuts on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. So that's gonna be fun and whatnot.
And
So
hope for like a draft too a little bit on WWE.
hopefully it's good. The night after WrestleMania is always fun because the last couple years not so much, but I hope this year with now Triple H hitting his stride, hopefully it's gonna be good. So,
Yeah.
But anyway, as always, the schedule goes like this. I review Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. I kind of don't do TNA because that's a lot of wrestling in the week. And supposedly AEW is going to Thursdays for Collision, so Wednesday, Thursdays. So we do a Collision review up in here. So we're getting back to the things, and then we add a little gaming news mixed in with some things. So anyway, I'm going to head over to Twitch and start streaming. So I'll see you guys over there. You guys have some fun tonight. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show as we all have. Like I said, make sure to support your content creators. Make sure to be, support everybody. Love everything. Yeah, if you didn't, then go over to your wrestling whatevers and on Twitter and go bother Triple H about it. Just saying, don't bother me in my comment section. Go bother Triple H. Go yell at Triple H. Okay, go bark at him. Don't bark at me. I'm only a guy who gives my own opinion on stuff with Icon here. Go bark at Triple H. Go bark at WWE. Don't bark at me.
Yeah.
Give Triple H shit. If you don't like the show, then go bust his balls. Seriously. Triple H says he's listening. He says he listens to all social media. So there you go. Anyway,